Okay. And we have participants as well from University of St. Louis, or St. Louis University. Okay. And also we have participants from Sorsogon State University, okay, from Cybercrime Investigation and Coordinating Center. And we have participants from the Philippine Military Academy, Philippine Coast Guard, and the Asian Foundation. Please give them a round of applause. Okay, we are about to start in a few minutes. Please settle yourselves.
Recently concluded government project mission on higher education. Castella University Philippines was recognized as the top university in Region 3.
We prioritize the strong and policy on the care of the environment.
We need to uphold and defend liberal arts education. We are determined to represent the university to be able to navigate its direction as a Christian university in the advent of the fourth industrial revolution.
As the only university in Nueva Ecija granted an autonomous status for the provision of higher education, Wesleyan University Philippines aims to provide an education that transcends beyond the confines of the curriculum.
It is an education that translates into the wisdom and outcome of using one's basic skills and knowledge for the good of others.
For novel and work-life tasks, for the things that outlast time, and for the efforts that give glory and honor to God.
All Wesleyan University Philippines students will be able to thrive in the best available learning environment, backed by capable teachers, ICT personnel.
There are various scholarships and grants available. Students and faculty of Wesleyan University Philippines are supported by membership, collaboration, and joint programs.
But the student relationship with Wesleyan University Philippines extends even beyond graduation to remain participative in the university's commitment to social transformation.
Only thus Wesleyan University Philippines have alumni scholarships for continuing education. Also, it has sealed partnerships with industry leaders in its continuous pursuit for excellence and relevance, especially in the increasing digital world.
This also means that through its institutional linkages, Wesleyan University Philippines is able to provide its graduates with various employment opportunities here and abroad.
In fact, the 17-year partnership of Wesleyan University Philippines and Smart Communications Incorporated has seen many multi-million employee ranks. And the partnership with Bison Management Corporation
For world-class education.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Morning!
Yeah, we are now on the second day of the conference, and I believe this one will be better than what we had yesterday. And before we finally dive in, please tell your seatmates or ask your seatmates, did you sleep well last night? Yeah? Because some of you or many of you have come from, different
session of our event on national security. We would like to take a moment to recognize and acknowledge the participants who have joined us today. Thank you very much. We have also gathered here a diverse group of individuals, including academics, researchers, practitioners, and students who are also committed to enhancing our country's national security. We encourage all of you to actively engage in discussions, to ask questions, to share your insights and perspective, and we believe that through open and constructive dialogue, we can gain a deeper understanding of the issues and opportunities facing our country's security landscape. Thank you very much for participating and joining us today. We're also live on the FB page of the Philippine Political Science Association. Thank you for joining us today. Ma'am Rene?
Thank you, sir. And as we start off our program for today, I would like to call on Reverend Rodolfo P. de la Cruz, the spiritual advisor of College of Arts and Sciences here at Bisaya University, Philippines, to lead us into prayer. Please let us all stand up.
We remain standing and let us bow our head and let us pray. Most gracious and merciful God, as we gather today for the PPSA Luzon Regional Conference on Philippine National Security, we come before you with hearts open to unity and understanding. We acknowledge that we come from different backgrounds and beliefs, but we share a common goal of promoting peace and security in our nation. We ask your blessings upon this gathering. All those who are in attendance, may your wisdom guide us through the power of your Holy Spirit as we engage in fruitful and respectful dialogue, seeking solutions to the complex challenges that confront our nation. We pray for our leaders and decision makers that they may be guided by your wisdom and Holy Spirit, compassion as they make decisions that impact the safety and security in all our nations. May they always prioritize the welfare of our people and work towards a just and peaceful society. We also pray for our fellow citizens who have suffered as a result of conflict and insecurity. May they find comfort in your love and healing in your mercy, as we all work together towards a future where all members of our society can live in peace and security and dignity. We give you back all this glory and honor. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Please remain standing for the singing of the Philippine National Anthem.
You may now be seated. And now, the National Security Advisor of the National National Security Council Secretary Eduardo M. Anyo has a message for us.
Good day to all. I wish to convey my warmest regards and congratulations to all the participants, resource speakers, organizers, and partners of the 2023 Philippine Political Science Association Luzon Regional Conference. The National Security Council is very pleased and honored to be part of this significant gathering. Indeed, it is one of our institution's trust to build and nurture relationships with various stakeholders, especially in the academy. This will ensure that we have access to up-to-date information and relevant knowledge within varied and new perspectives, and we generate trust for collaborations that allow us to better perform our mandates. After all, national security is not just the responsibility of one agency. It must be shared by every people. In such respect, we at the NSC will need the academy to work closely and collaboratively with us as we come up with initiatives, approaches, and solutions responsive and relevant to our national security problems. We thus invite you to fully engage with the speakers, amplify your voices, and synergize with us in translating these meaningful exchanges into transformative actions. Towards that is the National Security Advisor and Director General of the National Security Council. I express my full support for this event. Rest assured that the national leadership will continue to help you build on and fortify the blocks of your engagements, contributions, and accomplishments in realizing our shared vision of lasting, inclusive, and widespread peace, progress, and development. Thank you very much, and congratulations on the successful conduct of the 2023 Luzon PSA Regional Conference. May you have a productive, enriching, and insightful gathering. Sa ngalan ng po ng pagsasamang seguridad, mabuhay po kayo.
Thank you very much, Secretary Anyo. And now to introduce our first speaker for this morning, may I call on Professor Maria Gina Mendones, faculty of Sorsogon State University and a member of the Philippine Political Science Association. Ma'am?
Good morning. Our esteemed speaker holds an impressive, almost beyond human credentials. To start with, an education that includes a degree in Bachelor of Science in Agricultural Engineering at the Visayas State University, diploma courses in Strategic Planning course at the Armed Forces of the Philippines, Economic Development Planning at the Histadrut University of Israel, Internet Security and Cyber Laws at the Republic of the Polytechnic University of Singapore, Computer Emergency Response at the Beijing University of Post and Telecommunication, Cybersecurity Training Course at the Korea Information Security Agency, Whole of Government course in Sydney, Australia, Comprehensive Security Cooperation course at the Daniel K. Inouye Asia Pacific Center for Security Studies in Honolulu, Hawaii, USA. Work experiences that catalog a wide array of expertise. As our speaker was once the small water impounding project engineer of the Department of Agriculture, Province of Surigao del Norte, project development officer, computer programmer and system analyst of Department of Environment and Natural Resources, Central Office, and now currently completing tour of duty at the National Security Council, were previously assigned to policy research, information management, management support to the Presidential Situation Room, strategic planning, planning and the budget programming, and statutory obligation compliance. Today, our speaker is the director of the NSC Planning and Knowledge Management Service. Professionally, our speaker is a natural researcher and conducted studies related to coconut, abaca, and root crops. A licensed professional agricultural engineer, a cybersecurity advocate, a public manager and administrator, a national security manager and strategic planner, an Armed Forces of the Philippines reservist with a rank of Lieutenant Colonel. Ladies and gentlemen, I am in awe and deeply honored to introduce our next speaker, a human, a woman, Director Maria Lourdes G. Valencia Santiago.
Thank you very much for that very kind introduction. Actually, ako mismo, I was also awed and amazed how the introduction went to. And on behalf of National Security Council, as you have heard and seen, the NSA giving his message, we at the National Security Councils are actually pleased and honored to be invited in this event because for 3 reasons. One, this is our way of participating in shaping the country's future, ensuring that we pursue policies and strategies that keep our national instruments of power strong and build upon trust by engaging and re-engaging strategic thinkers like you. And the best way to do this is through this forum. So magandang umaga po sa lahat, sa participants, sa mga organizer, and even to my co-resource person. Good morning po sa lahat. We also take pride to be here because we take this as our opportunity to contribute to the mainstreaming the issue of blue economy, among other relevant national security concepts, as our country considered as the second, not only third, but second largest archipelagic nation in the world, where its waters 7 times of its land area, 7 times larger than its land area. And it is an inherent interest that we tackle blue economy as part of our national interest. So to promote blue economy and to take this into account into policy formulation, we know that you are the future policy and strategy formulation team or future professionals along that line. And we would like as much as possible, influence you at this early stage in order for you to know what is the concept of blue economy, what are the trends and the issues at hand, and how this concern must be addressed by the entire bureaucracy or by the entire nation, and how the entire nation can work together towards one goal, which is to protect our national interest in the context of blue economy. Okay? So with that as a pretext, now let's proceed in discussing in a very, very short way of defining what is blue economy. So according to World Bank, blue economy is a sustainable use of, next slide please, sustainable use of economic growth, improve livelihoods and jobs, and ocean ecosystem health. So with this, we can say that blue economy has diverse components, so including established traditional ocean industries such as fisheries, tourism, maritime transport, but also new and emerging activities such as offshore, renewable energy, aquaculture, seabed extractive activities, and maritime biotech and bioprospecting. Several services also provided by the ocean ecosystem, and for which market still do not exist, but it contributes significantly to the economic and other human activity, such as carbon sequestration, coastal protection, waste disposal, and the existence of biodiversity. So, here are some blue facts. 72% of the world is water. 75% of people live within the 100 miles of a coast. The ocean or sea, before airspace or cybersecurity, which is a subject matter that we discussed yesterday, it went ahead of that actually, of airspace and cyberspace, where the state uses it to extend its power, and we call it also part of the global commons. The unique attribute of the sea is that it is a resource rich, and it plays significant role to global climate health by absorption of 30% of annual global carbon emission, na karamihan doon nanggagaling sa land-based activities. Okay. So, paano na lang kung walang ocean or walang sea? Okay. So, it provides also inexpensive means to transport enormous quantities of stuff. Global trade moves by sea through the highway of commerce. So, as of today, see, there are 40,000 ships are underway daily, not monthly, but daily, carrying 90% of the world's international commerce. Then 90% of those, or 50% of those transporting world travels through 6 major choke points. The second largest choke points, where do you think? It's in Malacca Strait, which is near to our country. And the shortest route between the Pacific and the Indian Ocean. So, yan po yung Malacca Strait. Nakita niyo po ba yung ating bansa? Malapit na po siya dyan. And it links major Asian trade hubs like India, Malaysia, Singapore, and guess what? More. China. More than 80,000 vessels use this route annually. Almost 40% of the world traffic passes through this strait. Wait, there's more issue. No? As the population increases, global fish consumption also increases. So, saan po kinukuha po yung mga fishes? Sa ating pa rin oceans, no? Or even in our lakes. In 2010, the value add of ocean economy is US $1.5 trillion and projected to increase to US $3 trillion by year 2030. Major contributing economies or economic activities are maritime and coastal tourism. Diba? Sabi nila, the best beaches daw ay nasa Pilipinas. then maritime equipment, offshore oil and gas. The potential global ocean asset value is US dollar 24.4 trillion. So we're not yet there. No? Hindi pa natin siya na, we're still sustainable. Nasa sustainable stage pa rin tayo. So under the supply and demand principle, as the human population grow, so is the industrialization, urbanization, globalization increases. And to add on that, the complex situations and competition for shore and access to coastal waters and amplified pressures to marine habitats also increases. And this resulted to a national security issues such as degradation of marine resources. There are 5.25 trillion pieces of plastics in our oceans. And this plastic garbage poses a severe threat to all marine life, fish, turtles, and seabirds, you name it. And they eat microplastics mistaken for food after being entangled in discarded fishing nets or other related plastics. Every year, millions of animals die due to their use of these items. So ano po yung nakikita niyo sa picture? This is a whale died somewhere in the province of Compostela Valley. You know the place? So coastal po siya. So, napakalaki pong wave, pero punong-puno po ng basura yung loob ng tiyan niya. So, other challenges to add on to that are many of these species that consume plastics are part of our food chain that ends up also poisoning humans. So, it's really indeed a national security issue. Because one of the referent object, we know this as a political scientist, one referent object of national security is what? Welfare, well-being of the people. Binanggit lang po kanina ni Father, no? Yung nag-pray kanina. So, and aside from the state, the institutions, and even the territorial integrity of the state, the welfare well-being of the people is a primordial interest of the national security. Or for the government, for that matter. Okay? So, other challenges, this is naman for management point of view, distance, depth, and density make it more difficult to monitor, secure, and govern these essential economic activities down there or out there. Diba? So, ang hirap po siya i-monitor. So, therefore, what is the government missions? So, there is really a spectrum of missions under the blue economy. So, it's very wide. So, as wide as the shall underpins on traditional, state-based, and non-traditional transnational crime challenges that requires avenues of mutual cooperation from maritime safety. So I'm happy that the Coast Guard is with us here, who happen to be the focal for maritime security. And then maritime safety for, kaninong trabaho ba ito, maritime safety? For Marina, right? No? From the Marina. And national defense for the Coast Guard. And I'm happy that the Philippine Military Academy is also represented in this forum. Okay? So, other than that, we are also concerned in protecting the global commons. We all know that global commons, it is something that it's nobody's ownership, diba? So, it should be in accordance to upholding the rules-based international order. So it's a global commons. So it's the same with digital domain and
the airspace. And another challenge is that any emerging challenges related to challenging our state's right and security, I will not dwell on that. But from the picture itself, you would know anong ibig ko sabihin po dyan, as well as endanger advancement of the world economy or our economy. So, however, hindi naman po ako nandito just to give you a green picture of the blue economy. We can turn the tragedy of these commons into triumph if we consider the following. Okay? We can use the smart shipping to lessen the impacts on the environment, create jobs, reduces poverty and ends hunger, inclusive development that improves the lives of all, development based on sustainable fisheries, conserve marine lives and oceans, protects coastal communities from the impacts of climate change, acts against illegal fishing or other related illegal activities, tackles marine litter. Dito siguro makakatulong tayo mga estudyante. No? Pwede tayo mag-coastal cleaning. Tackles marine litter and oceans pollution and harness renewable energy. Okay. With a wide spectrum of missions and expectations, it needs support, not only from the government, from all of us. Because as mentioned earlier by the National Security Advisor, national security is not only a concern of the NC or the government, but it's everybody's concern. So with this support, we need a full of government approach wherein government entities provide support in relation to their respective mandates, contributing and working together interdependently, kahit sa level ng national to local, and even to the level of barangay, or even to the level of young people, mutually supporting and interrelated to achieve a shared goal of an integrated government response, either formal or informal, within the context of national interest and better program management of service delivery. So, these are in the areas of, I think, dito naman interested naman yung mga research outfit, no? A common areas would be the conduct of scientific research, development of sectoral plans, ecosystem and seascape management, policy formulation, capacity building, security and intelligence enforcement, and stakeholder engagement, just like what we've been doing right now. So, actually, that's it. I don't want to model your thinking pattern on the concept or other issue. I think that's enough to give you a context, a broad context what is blue economy. Actually, this blue economy is very apparent in our Philippine Development Plan. We ensure from the national security establishment that we influence our development planners to include this as part of the Philippine Development Plan. So as a closing, let me share this thought. As the future unfolds, and within this increasing VUCA environment, we know all what is VUCA, volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous, where these global commons come into play, actually. Policy and strategy formulation are neither, I could tell you, I've been in this outfit for pretty longer, as you can imagine. Mukha lang po akong bata, pero matanda na po ako sa serbisyo. Simple nor easy. Akala lang natin simple, pero hindi po siya simple. Hindi rin siya madali din po. So, consequently, we in our office continually engage people who are in pursuit of policy options. That is the domain of we call it the strong intellects. And we consider social scientists like you guys as the social intellects. Kasi social scientists na po kayo eh. And you are a lifelong student. You keep studying, you keep observing, and we consider you also as a dedicated professional. So with that, I hope we able to contribute to the body of knowledge of this forum in relation to blue economy as we tackle it as one of the national security issue. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for that very comprehensive input. We learned that blue economy takes a great part of our economy in our nation as a whole, so therefore it must be guarded because there are some threats that try to destroy it. So we must guard it, but it must begin with us. Now, huwag nagtatapon ng mga basura sa dagat-dagat. So it begins with our self-discipline. So every one of us, each one of us, has the discipline. Mapapangalagaan, okay, ang ating blue economy. All right. So to give us an intermission number, I would like to call on Mr. Charles Ian de la Cruz, a student of BA Political Science here at Wesleyan University of Philippines.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sir Charles Ian de la Cruz. Moving on to introduce our next speaker, may I call on the Faculty of Political Science Department of Western University Philippines, Assistant Professor Levi Richard D. Isidro. Round of applause, please.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So it's a great pleasure for me to introduce our speaker for today. So she has around 20 years of experience in security sector governance and reform, public safety policy reform, and peace building. She has spearheaded various programs and research that directly contributed to policy making and defense and security policies and agendas. She is a senior program officer with the Asia Foundation, and among the projects she manages is Waypoints, navigating civil maritime security reform in the Philippines, supported under the Australian Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade's Philippine Civil Maritime Security Program. Waypoints is a civil maritime security initiative that supports institutional strengthening, specifically towards effective interagency cooperation, coordination, and communication. This is complemented by fostering avenues for communication and discussion, engaging multi-sectoral stakeholders in the maritime sector. And before joining the foundation, she was the founding executive director of the Security Reform Initiative, SRI, an independent think tank focused on peace and security policy research and coalition building. In this capacity, she was the national convener for Bantay Bayanihan, a pioneering nationwide network of about 250 civil society organizations performing an oversight role of the military's implementation of its internal security strategy and engaging local government units for peace and security. She previously worked in various capacities with the Department of National Defense, the Armed Forces of the Philippines, and the Office of the Executive Director for the Cabinet Cluster for Security, Justice, and Peace under the Office of the President. So ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Ms. Kathleen Ann Sigua Tolosa.
Maraming salamat po sa introduction. Medyo mahabang introduction, no, nakakapanibago. Pero para sa atin ngayong umaga, cut na lang po ang itawag ninyo sa akin. No? Kasi mas mahalaga para sa akin yung pag-uusap natin mamaya. Yung sa amin, kanina ni ma'am, these are just designed to be anchor points for our discussion later. Sa mga ganito pong pagtitipon, ang pinakamahalaga kasi talaga yung nagpapalitan tayo ng mga kuro-kuro natin, di ba? Kung may mga katanungan tayo na tutulungan natin ang isa't isa na masagot yung mga katanungan natin. No? So, I am very interested to hear what our students think, no? Especially napakarami pong mga universidad ang naririto sa atin ngayon. So, para mas mabilis lang po, no, kami po ay bahagi ng isang proyekto ng the Asia Amador Research Services. Nakaangkla ang aming proyekto na ang pangalan ay Waypoints sa katunayan, di ba, sa fact that the Philippines is an archipelagic nation. Okay, pop quiz. Do we know how many islands we have? High tide or low tide? Okay, ang sa latest count ng NAMRIA, okay, as of NAMRIA's latest count, we are at 7,654. Diba dati ang alam natin 7,100, diba? But we are at 7,564 islands. Now, with the climate crisis, climate emergency happening, who knows, baka next year may ibang numero na po na ibigay sa atin, no, ang NAMRIA. But right now, that is the official count. And sabi nga ni Ma'am kanina, our waters stretch to actually some 2.2 million square kilometers, which comprises 88% of our territory. And more than half of the Filipino population live in coastal communities and get their living from the sea. Marami po sa atin, kahit po yung mga universidad na pinangalanan kanina, marami sa atin ay nasa coastal communities. Many of our cities, even our urban areas, are in coastal communities. No? So talagang kahit ano hong gawin natin, parte ng identity ng Pilipinas bilang bansa, identity natin bilang mga Pilipino, na nakatira tayo sa isang bansa na archipelagic. No? Tayo ay isang archipelagic nation at yan po ang pinag-aangklahan namin sa amin, sa Asia Foundation, sa Waypoints, sa aming proyekto, sa aming mga research at sa mga activities na ginagawa namin. So I will not belabor what we're trying to do in Waypoints. I will not bore you with the details. But at the core of it is we are here to support the government, no, in putting in place or strengthening governance arrangements, institutional arrangements, as well as sana mas mapagpalawig po natin ang diskurso patungkol sa maritime security ng Pilipinas. Ito pong activity natin ngayon is definitely designed that way. And we think the PPSA, no, napakahalaga po that you are convening these kinds of platforms to encourage discourse on Philippine maritime security, on Philippine blue economy. So, sige, next. Bago po ako pupunta sa meet, sana bago tayo mag-uwian mamaya, tandaan po natin itong mga ito. Una, karagatan at kapuluan. Diba? Ang karagatan at kapuluan ng Pilipinas ay para lamang sa aking kapwa Pilipino. Ito ang pamana ng ating lahi. Ikalawa, katarungan at kinabukasan. Ang epektibong pamamahala ng karagatan ay kritikal sa pagsulong ng pambansang interes na pangalagaan, protektahan at palaguin ang ating yamang dagat. At ikatlo, kayamanan at kabuhayan. Ating yaman, ating responsibilidad, ating kabuhayan, ating kinabukasan, lalo na inyong kinabukasan. Okay, sige. Kahapon lamang po nasa Maynila kami, kung makapunta tayo dun sa slide nung yan. We launched this research. It's actually the first comprehensive assessment of the state of Philippine civil maritime security. The agencies present here were also represented yesterday during the public presentation of the research. Kung makikita ninyo, ang title po niya, Kasiguruhan sa Karagatan, which literally translates to security at sea. And we framed it as, the question we are problematizing is, how do we advance the interests of the Philippines as an archipelagic nation? No? So, dun po umikot, no, yung aming research. And today, I will be zooming in on a particular topic as requested po, no, on the maritime zones of the Philippines. Okay. Sige. Punta po tayo muna, kumusta ba ang estado ng maritime current policy framework, and this is what we saw from the research that we recently conducted. At ito rin po yung inputs na galing sa lahat po ng ahensya na involved sa ating maritime security, na ang ating maritime security framework hindi siya ganoon kaklaro. Meron po tayong pieces of it that we can find in different strategic policies of the government, but as one clear, comprehensive framework on maritime security, the last that we have is in 1994. Hindi pa po natin siya na-update magmula noon. At ito, hindi ko na i-expound masyado dahil ito yung kinover ni Ma'am kanina, Napakalaki ng potential ng blue economy ng Pilipinas, subalit hindi pa po namin ito fully na ma-maximize. Kung tutuusin, sabi nga po, in our conversations with maritime law enforcement agencies, maritime agencies, there was that feeling that we are an archipelagic nation. Mas malaki ang tubig natin kaysa sa lupa natin. Pero kapag nagpaplano tayo tungkol sa ating development, laging nakatuon sa lupa ang ating mga mata. So napakalaki ng resources ng Pilipinas na hindi natin fully na ma-maximize kasi hindi tayo masyadong tumitingin sa tubig. So ito po yung at the core of, when we talk about maximizing the potential of our blue economy. So, meron po ngayong batas, or actually bill, na naka-file sa House at sa Senate on enacting the Philippine Maritime Zones. Ang maritime zones po, ito ay nakabase sa United Nations Convention on the Law of the Seas, o UNCLOS. Siguro lahat naman po tayo ay familiar tayo dito. Sa ngayon, wala pa po kasi tayong batas sa Pilipinas. So maniwala po kayo sa hindi. Wala po tayong sarili natin batas na nagsasabi na ito ang maritime zones ng Pilipinas. Meron tayong baselines. Pero kung hanggang saan po yung karapatan ng Pilipinas, ang entitlement ng Pilipinas, anong pwede natin gawin para ma-maximize natin yung ating blue economy sa ating karagatan? At hanggang saan, gaano kalayo mula sa beach? Diba? Gaano kalayo mula sa ating coastal communities at ano yung pwede natin gawin? Yun ang napapaloob dito po sa panukalang batas na Maritime Zones Law. So, naatasan po kami ngayon na medyo bigyan po ng framing, at so pinag-aralan namin ano ba yung laman ng Maritime Zones Law at bakit po siya mahalaga. Okay, sige. Sabi ka natin kanina, we are a maritime nation. I will just breeze through this. We are one of the major fish-producing companies. 60% po ng protina na kinakain natin Pilipino ay galing po sa isda. O diba? Ito mga to, parang napaka-part na siya ng pang-araw-araw na pamumuhay natin. Diba? Parang to the point that we already take these facts for granted. Sige, next slide. Ganyan kalaki ang value ng ating fish production, 265 billion. 2018 pa po yan. 1.9 million po ng mga Pilipino ay they identify themselves as fisher folks o ating mga mangingisda. At 27% po ang share ng West Philippine Sea lamang. West Philippine Sea pa lang ang pinag-uusapan natin. 27% na ng total marine capture ng Pilipinas ay mahahanap na natin dyan. Sa energy resources, pagdating sa tubig, hindi lang siya tungkol sa isda, hindi lang siya tungkol sa seaweed, pati tungkol sa energy. We're looking at, sinasabi nila, we are being warned by experts that we are at the brink of an energy crisis. But there is huge potential na nasa tubig natin for energy resources. So, yan po ang from the experts, and these are also DOE estimates of potential energy resources na mahahanap natin sa ating katubigan. Hindi po sa amin galing yung numbers na yan from DOE na po siya, no? And from other experts. So napakalaki. But you know, it has always been a challenge for us, like how do we maximize, no, yung ating resources. Pati sa maritime transport and trade, no? So meron kang fishing, meron kang marine resources, meron kang energy, pati yung potential natin for maritime transport and trade, napakalakas din. Yeah, so sa overall ocean economy, ito po yung total value of ocean-based industry. So hindi lamang sa Pilipinas, no, but sa kabuuan din ng ating ocean economy. Sige, next slide. Hindi ko na po i-cover yung blue economy kasi mas alam po yun ni Ma'am kaysa sa akin. So let's just go straight to, okay, the share. But I would just like to pause for a bit and maybe raise ang ating attention sa dinami-dami ng bilyon, trilyon na potential na pwedeng ma-contribute ng ating katubigan sa ating economy over the recent years. Ang share ng ocean economy sa GDP natin lumiliit pa. Imbis sana, di ba, na mas patuloy natin itong ma-develop, patuloy natin siyang maprotektahan, ma-maximize, magamit sustainably. Unfortunately, the share of the ocean economy in the GDP has been shrinking. So that's something that I hope maybe for future research, no, yung kung mga kasamahan natin dito, maybe you would want to unpack why this is happening and what do we need to unlock. Diba? Para palakihin ulit natin yung share ng ating ocean economy sa ating GDP. Okay, so sa mga interviews po namin and consultations with different agencies in the maritime sector, tinatanong namin sila, ano ba yung roadblocks? Bakit hindi natin ma-harness fully? How come we are unable to fully harness our maritime potential as an archipelagic nation? Meron po silang tatlo. When we took all the answers in, we realized we could, group them into three main roadblocks. Una, of course, increasing competition, aggressive expansion, and assertion of other states in the West Philippine Sea. In other words, fully maximizing the potential of our ocean economy is not as straightforward as we may want it to be. Diba? So, kaya nga sabi ni Ma'am kanina, dapat whole of government. Ang ibig pong sabihin ng whole of government, lahat ng sektor sa gobyerno magtatrabaho together. Because, halimbawa, economic development, hindi po pwedeng yun lamang kung economic cluster ng ating kabinete ang nag-uusap-usap. Because primarily, there are other issues that impinge on maximizing our ocean economy. And the number one there that was raised by interlocutors in the field is there is definitely increasing competition, increasing aggression that's happening in our waters. Second, kapag daw po tinignan natin kung paano po natin pinag-uusapan ang ating maritime security, maritime governance, dahil din dito sa increasing aggression, no, and increasing competition, kapag pinag-usapan na ang maritime security at maritime governance, napupunong na tayo din dun sa very hard security issues. That it is now difficult to look at it broadly, to look at it comprehensively. Diba? Kung mapapansin niyo, pag po magbabasa tayo ng ating newspaper, kailan lang nababanggit ang tubig? Kailan lang nababanggit ang West Philippine Sea? Kapag may nangyari, kapag may insidente, or otherwise kapag merong krisis, katulad ng recent na oil spill, no? But kung man, on a day-to-day basis, mawawala sa consciousness na sabi nga nila, out of sight, out of mind, di ba? Mawawala sa consciousness natin kung walang nangyayari. So, hindi talaga natin na pag-uusapan ano ba ang kahalagahan ng ating katubigan sa atin bilang archipelago, beyond the disputes, beyond the aggression. We are not saying those are not important, definitely. Like, those are important to Philippine, sovereignty and territorial integrity. But if you want to fully maximize our ocean economy, we need to look broadly. Diba? Kabit siya. We need to be able to connect the dots. Alright? And lastly, so dahil din po doon, dahil nga napakalawak niya, dahil din naghahanap tayo, meron pa tayong isang comprehensive na polisiya pagdating sa ating katubigan, or ano yung kahalagahan ng ating katubigan sa ating national interest. This ripples, if we use as water, this ripples to paano ngayon ginagawa ng ating maritime agencies ang kanilang trabaho. There's some uncertainty in implementing our policy. Who does what? Diba? Sino ang gagawa nito? Sino ang lead? Sino ang support? Sino ang main accountable sa mga bagay-bagay na ito? So, meron pong mga ganoong lumulutang na issues. Actually, kung we have another slide, but just to illustrate, trinay po namin ilagay sino yung ating mga policy making, regulatory agencies pagdating sa katubigan, napakarami niya. Sino ang ating implementors? Napakarami niya. Pero napansin po din namin, meron po tayong mga nagsiset ng regulation and policy na nag-i-implement din. Diba? Meron din tayong implementors na sila rin ang gumagawa ng regulations. So, medyo mahirap po yun. Yung kailangan natin ng mas kalinawan sa ganoon. Dahil din po sa minsan kakulangan na rin ng capability, ng assets, ng resources ng ating agencies na inaatasan na pag-ingatan ng ating katubigan, kung titignan po natin yung ating mga policy at batas, lagi-lagi may nilalagay po dyan na may support role kayo dito. Si Coast Guard, parang sa lahat po ata ng in relation to the waters, may support role si Coast Guard, no? Ganon din si BFAR, no? Ganon din si PNP Maritime Group. Ang intention nun talaga ay para punan yung mga pagkukulang kasi hindi kaya ng iisang ahensya lang. Ayun nga lang, kapag lahat na nandiyan, napakadali na magkalituhan din, di ba? Sino ba yung main? Sino yung gagawa nito? So, ito daw yung main na barriers, no? There are more. But from the agencies that we interviewed, the agencies that we consulted, and this includes Coast Guard, PNP Maritime Group, Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, DENR, NSC, DND, Navy, you name it, we really, talk to all of them, and these are the main issues that they were raising. Let's just go straight now to slide 30, please. I'm just mindful of the time kasi 30 minutes lang. Hindi ko na yan, so na-discuss na natin yan. No? So, sabi nga, may pagpa-prioritize daw ng territorial security aspects over more encompassing socio-economic aspects of maritime security and maritime governance. Dahil din ito dun sa diskurso, no, nag-start tayo kung malamang hindi pa kayo ipinapanganak noon. Pero noong pong 1995 kasi, doon nangyari yung mischief reef incident, no? Doon tayo nag-start na, wait lang, kailangan nga natin na magkaroon ng mas malakas na plano, mas malakas na aksyon pagdating sa ating katubigan. So, dahil it started there, no? And then 9/11 came, and mas maritime terrorism naman ang 1994 pa. Sino na ang pinanganak noong 1994? Sino na ang buhay noong 1994? Kami lang ang aamin? Totoo Tama ba yan? So, in short, ang nating National Marine Policy mas matanda pa sa inyong lahat. Right? And can you imagine gaano na nagbago ang nangyayari sa ating katubigan since 1994? Diba? We have yet to update it. Second, ito nga po, there's a heightened emphasis on traditional or more security aspects in our key policy documents. And third, so nung po nagkaroon tayo ng UNCLOS, diba, noong 1990s, pumirma po ang Pilipinas. Kasama ng iba pong mga bansa. No? Kapag po tayo ay pumipirma sa UNCLOS na tinatawag na isang international treaty, no, or isang international legal regime, ibig sabihin kung may batas tayo dito sa atin, internationally, may mga batas or legal regimes din that govern how we act as nation states. Okay? Pupirma tayo. Kapag po may pinipirmahan tayo na ganoon na international treaty, may obligasyon ang bawat estadong pumipirma na magpasa ng domestic legislation nila para patibayin yung pagpirma natin, no, dun sa international treaty na yun. May obligasyon din po tayo na tingnan yung ating mga existing na batas kung bang aligned sila dun sa treaty na pinirmahan natin. So, una, sabi ko nga kanina, wala tayong maritime zones law. No? Hindi pa po natin nakukumpleto. Sa legislation po, may tinatawag sila na archipelagic house. So, imagine natin bahay natin, no? Archipelagic house. May tatlo daw yung column. Una, baselines law. Check na tayo dyan. No? Meron na tayong baselines law. Ang ikalawa po niya, maritime zones law. Wala pa tayo yan. Bakit mauuna si baselines law? Kasi po kapag bibilangin natin ilang nautical miles siya, no, mula sa ating baseline, it's the starting point. No? The baseline is the starting point. So kailangan next maritime zones law. And after that, archipelagic sealing naman. Ibig sabihin, dahil archipelagic nation po tayo, kailangan natin magpadaan ng foreign vessels sa gitna ng ating mga isla. Pero, sino magsasabi saan sila pwedeng dumaan? Tayo dapat, diba? So, doon natin yan ilalagay, doon sa ating archipelagic sealing law. So, sa tatlong pillars ng ating archipelagic house, isa pa lang. Hindi pa po buo ang bahay natin bilang as isang archipelago, no, kung legislation ang ating pag-uusapan. Slide 34. Okay, so, tapos yung ibang mga issues na binabanggit kanina, ang sabi rin po sa amin, mahihirapan tayong solusyonan yung issues ng who does what, di ba? Sino yung may primary role dito, hanggang saan si BIFAR, hanggang saan si Coast Guard, hanggang saan si Navy, kung hindi natin defined, hanggang saan nga ba? Hanggang saan nga ba ang ating territorial waters? Hanggang saan ang ating contiguous zone, extended economic shelf? Di ba? We don't have a law. And for a country pushing for a rules-based order, di ba kapag nagkaano tayo, di dapat rules-based ang pagpapalakad natin dyan sa West Philippine Sea, dyan sa broader na South China Sea. Baka pagputanungin tayo, bakit? Ano ba? Sabi ninyo, wala pa tayong maritime law. No, tinignan po namin lahat po ng iba-ibang claimant states, meron silang sarili-sarili po nilang maritime zones, no? Pilipinas lang po ang wala. Okay? Tapos sabi ko po kanina, obligasyon natin na i-review natin ang ating mga batas. Kapag may pinipirmahan tayong treaty obligations, naaayon ba ang mga batas natin dito sa pinirmahan natin? No? Run through for some na pre-UNCLOS pa na ipasa at hindi pa po natin na-update. Meron din pong iba na wala pa tayong batas. No? Sige, next slide. Katulad po niyan, ang Mining Act po natin, it does not yet cover our extended continental shelf. Pinag-uusapan natin kanina, energy potential ng ating katubigan, kaya lang yung Mining Act pa natin, hindi pa po cover yung extended continental shelf, no? Ang Fisheries Code, ganoon din, hindi rin cover ng extended continental shelf, no? Ang right to exploit by tunneling, wala pa tayong batas. Jurisdiction over artificial islands, wala pa tayong batas. So, in other words, there's a lot that we need to do to really fully protect, fully promote, no, yung po ating rights and entitlements sa ating mga katubigan. At para po sa amin, nagsisimula po talaga yan sa pagpapasa po natin ng ating maritime zones law. Sige, next. Next slide. Okay, so if we look at the maritime zones law, no, yung next slide pa. Sabi kanina, there is increasing competition, aggressive expansion, and assertion by other states in the West Philippine Sea. Kung meron po tayong klaro na maritime zones at klaro na deklarasyon ng ating maritime jurisdiction, ngayon, we are in a stronger position to assert what legal regimes govern those waters, no? Those Philippine waters, those Philippine maritime zones. Second, so para po, in case po meron po sa ating not very familiar pa, no, sa ating maritime zones, so from here, kung ito yung mga isla natin, no, tapos nandito ang ating baseline, yung dulo. Yung loob, yan yung tinatawag na archipelagic waters. Okay? Mula dun sa baseline na ipinasa natin, kung magbibilang ka ng 12 nautical miles, ang tinatawag dyan, territorial sea. Kapag nagbilang ka ng 24 nautical miles, ang tawag doon, contiguous zone. Pag nagbilang ka pa ng 200 nautical miles, yun na yung exclusive economic zone. Pag inilayo mo pa yan, yun ang ating continental shelf. So, sa bawat zone, no, these are called zones. Sa bawat zone, iba-iba yung allowed tayo to do under UNCLOS. Iba-iba yung ating maritime rights and entitlements under UNCLOS. So, kailangan, klaro tayo. Para din tayo, alam natin hanggang saan ko ba pwede itong gawin. Hanggang saan ba na meron akong responsibilidad? Hanggang saan ba na meron akong jurisdiction? No? Yun po yung palilinawin ng pagsasabatas ng ating maritime zones. Next. Ayan, no? So, sige. And I'll go to my second to the last slide. So, in short, napakahalaga ng pagkakaroon po ng maritime zones, no? At yun nga, kaya siguro inatasan po kami ng PPSA na pag-aralan namin itong maritime zones, no? Dahil napakahalaga po talaga niya. It defines both the geographic extent of our maritime zones and their legal regimes. Nagiging compliant tayo sa ating mga obligasyon dun sa pinirmahan po natin na UNCLOS. Tinatanggal po niya yung hindi malinaw, no, sa ating maritime legal framework, and ultimately, it would allow us to govern our waters, to govern Philippine maritime areas more effectively. So, and I just want to end with a quote mula po dun sa lola ng mga nandito dahil 1994 ang i-quote ko, no? So this is quite historical for you. But the National Marine Policy states, as an archipelagic state, government must ensure that Philippine marine resources, maritime practices, territorial integrity, and coastal peace and order are protected, conserved, and enhanced. Tatlo. Protect, conserve, enhance. At yun lamang po, maraming salamat.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Kath Colosa, for a very substantial lecture. Before we proceed to the open forum, I would like to call on the members of the PPSA Board of Trustees and the Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences of Quezon University Philippines to award the Certificate of Appreciation. Okay, so allow me to read the citation. The Philippine Political Science Association, Conrad Adenauer Stiftung, National Security Council, and Western University Philippines awards the Certificate of Appreciation to Director Maria Lourdes G. Valencia Santriches for sharing his invaluable time and expertise as a speaker for the topic Blue Economy in Relation to National Security during the 2023 PPSA Luzon Regional Conference on Philippine National Security during Marcos Jr. Presidency, its impact on international relations and foreign policy, held on March 28 and 29, 2023 at Wesleyan University Philippines, Cabanatuan City, Nueva Ecija, Philippines. Signed, Assistant Professor Ferman B. Lazatin, the PPSA Luzon representative. Signed, Dr. Dennis C. Corvacion, the PPSA President. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you very much, ma'am. Again, allow me to read the citation. The Philippine Political Science Association, Conrad Adenauer Stiftung, National Security Council, and Western University Philippines awards the Certificate of Appreciation to Ms. Kathleen Ann S. Colosa for sharing her invaluable time and expertise as the speaker for the topic Framing the Maritime Zone Law during the 2023 PPSA Luzon Regional Conference on Philippine National Security during Marcos Jr. Presidency, its impact on international relations and foreign policy, held on March 28, 29, 2023 at Wesleyan University Philippines, Cabanatuan City, Nueva Ecija, Philippines, signed by PPSA Luzon Representative Assistant Professor Ferman B. Lazatin, signed PPSA President Dr. Dennis C. Corvacion. Round of applause. Yeah. Thank you very much. So, for the open forum, I would like to invite our lecturer, Ms. Kath, and Director Santriches to be here in front. And I'll call on my partner, Renee, to begin the open forum.
Good morning once again, dear participants. And before anything else, I would like to acknowledge the presence of my dean, Dr. Margarita D. Agustin. She's my beloved dean, the Dean of College of Arts and Sciences here at Wesleyan University Philippines. All right, guys, the table is now open for the open forum. You may ask questions or clarifications, and you may give additional insights as well. Okay? And you know, I can somehow relate with the topics because, you know, my dad is a retired engineer. So, kami ay pinalaki galing sa kita niya sa Pandalat. So the any questions, guys? Any additional insights? All right. Please come forward, Doc. Sir. Can you please ask me? Ma'am.
Good morning po, dear speakers. So, talaga nag-volunteer ako so sobrang na-excite ako. Yesterday, I was here and openly I said I am not into IR. Diba? I'm into environmental politics, feminism, and sobrang nakaka-inspire po kayo. Nanginginig sa excitement. Anyway, I would like to share yung mga insights. When I was taking up my PhD, one of our best instructors, Dr. Horneto from Batangas, nagbigay siya sa amin ng question, as an archipelago, bakit wala tayong course on shipbuilding? Diba? Meron tayong course on maritime, pero how to make Filipinos yung mga seamen. Pero, tumatak po yun sa isip ko, bakit nga ba wala kaming course on yun nga, shipbuilding, kahit nga boat making, wala diba? So, maganda din siguro i-suggest natin to work out with CHED and find courses that would lead to the development of courses related to ship and boat making. Isa po yun. Another would be, notes po kasi ako sa sobrang excitement, ma-answer din po nito yung tinatawag na mismatch. Kasi CHED would always cry about having mismatch. Marami tayong graduates, pero hindi po natin na-meet yung needs ng market. Now, kung andyan naman na po yung resources, I think having graduates that could tap and maximize our resources would be better rather than training our students to be, just employees of foreigners. Diba? Another thing, we can start early. Kung po pwede po sana, we would like to ask yung inyong mga PowerPoint presentations because I personally would want to include them in all of my subjects para malaman ng mga estudyante what is blue economy, what is the problem of the laws related to maritime security, and if possible, extend some funding projects in relation to research sa academe. Kasi sa totoo lang po, kami from Baguio City, hindi po namin ito naiisip kasi puro bundok doon pero kanina, nandun ako sa likod, parang nare-realize ko, pwede naman kami, yung call ni Ma'am kanina, pwede kami maggawa ng research para ipakita sa ating lawmakers na, hey, luma talaga yung batas. Ito yung summary ginawa namin para makita nyo at ito yung needs. So, if I may also have the contact details of Asia Foundation, in order to coordinate with them, I would be asking my students in research to start up. Kahit po i-review lang natin yung laws to be amended. Malaking tulong na po sana yun. So, thank you very much po. And sana po makuha namin yung slides and contact details. Thank you po.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jane.
Doc, maraming salamat. Yes, we can share the slides. Ma'am, lapitan kita mamaya para magpalitan po tayo ng numbers sa emails. Thank you. But yes, and really, kailangan po natin ng research agenda on maritime security, di ba? On our ocean economy. We are looking for it in our policies. But we want policies that are informed by research, right? We want policies that are informed by our scientists, that are driven by data. And where should that data come from? Who should do that research? Diba? So we look to the academia, we look to our students, we look to our researchers. So napakaganda po nun at kaya napakaganda na dito po ninyo sinetro yung conference ng PPSA. Salamat po.
Thank you so much. So, Doc, dun sa palawagan niyo po na support for policy research, actually, it is is a public knowledge, I think, that we are currently having another round of policy formulation, national security policy formulation. After that, we will have a national security strategy formulation, wherein very important, i-address yung ni-raise na issue kanina, no, na there is a need for coming up with the effective policy implementation, a study of what, who does, at ano yung mga coverage nila, at ano yung interlink between systems, one systems with another. And we don't need institutions that are coastal-based on one. So it's a practical thing. No? A political scientist, whether they're based on a coastal-based institution or not, can address such kind of requirement. So another issue din po sa amin is actually, aside sa interlink between the systems, is actually the framing of the laws, the framing, even the policy itself. Kasi lumalabas, sometimes we forget what are the referent objects of our policies. So only political scientists can have that kind of perspective, no, na you can look into the relationship of the one organism with another, like IR. Sometimes yung mga political, yung policy researchers na nasa bureaucracy, nakakalimutan yun eh, na meron pa pala tayong bigger system na hindi lang pala dito sa Pilipinas, di ba? So, actually, we welcome that. Earlier, I talked with one of the organizers, and the best way to touch base with our office is, since in-invite ko kami dito, so you just mentioned that we are here, you appreciate that we participated in your forum, and then maybe you can, if you have already some policy agenda nagawa nyo na, maybe you can share it with us, and from there, maybe we can get some inputs while we are coming up with the framing of our national security strategy na actually. Because the national security policy will be released soon, not later than the end of July. And sabi ni Kat, is share ko sa inyo that the framing of our national security policy is actually based on archipelagic concept, no, ng ating nation. So, I think that's it.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. Alright, are there any questions from the participants or clarifications? Yes? Okay, let me give you the mic over there.
Ako, thank you po mga sa fruitful seminar po and conference about maritime and geoeconomy. So, kanina po itong natin po kami parang pinag-uusapan po namin, syempre po yung mga discuss po about, una syempre economy, and yung second po about yung maritime policies. So, ano yun po, parang iisip ko, ano po kaya yung mga short term na pwede nang ma-accomplish ngayon, and yung pang long term po. Yun lang.
There you go.
Sige. Siguro i-reframe natin siya kasi minsan kapag short term, pwede kasing mas mabilis mo siyang magawa pero mahaba yung effect niya. Diba? Baka pwede rin po natin pag-isipan and also to anchor our research agenda. What are the small wins? Diba? Or what are the low-hanging fruits? Diba? Ano yung low-hanging fruits natin na pwedeng hindi siya ganun kahirap na gawin? Diba? Nandiyan na siya, pwede na natin siyang gawin eh. Pero yung epekto naman niya, napakalaki. Diba? Yun po yung challenge na pwede natin pag-isipan pa. Top of my head, of course, to me, it's the maritime zones. And we have to make it a low-hanging fruit. Diba? We have to make it easily na nandyan na siya. yung bicameral na pinag-uusapan hanggang mabalangkas po natin yung ating batas. But honestly, for me, if we look at the legislative history of the Maritime Codes Law, it should be a low-hanging fruit, to be honest. It has always been passed by Congress, by the House of Representatives. We just need to, maybe, if groups of political scientists or students of political science just write to your legislators, and just say, we need this, and just express your support para maipasa yung ganitong batas. That's one. Second is, I encourage you to be involved in governance in general, from policy making to looking at the implementation. You are already well placed to participate in that. Diba? Parang active citizenship po ang isa buhay natin. Hindi mo ba? You have an open invitation from MAM. You have an open invitation from NSC. If you have research that would be helpful for national security, go ahead and give it to NSC. Talk to them. I have been with government, I have worked with government, and fortunately, nakita ko po na laging bukas na makinig, laging bukas to read, to learn, diba, from us. Kailangan lang po natin mag-reach out dahil sobrang dami po din nilang trabaho. Minsan kailangan na tayo yung mag-reach out, tayo yung makulit. So that's another thing, that you can do. Ngayon din po, if we look at institutional arrangements, there are already initial efforts being done by government to kind of rationalize, I would say, paano yung institutional arrangements ng napakaraming ahensyang involved sa maritime sector sa Pilipinas para mas luminaw. Napakahalaga nun. Again, it's something you can do immediately, but the effect is far-reaching. Kung ma-rationalize po natin yung coordination, communication mechanisms, yung kanino ba nang gagaling yung authority para magbigay ng utos, para magsabi ng who does what, and so on. That's something that would be done with the stroke of a pen of the president, and it would have far-reaching effects.
Okay, well, thank you so much. Well, you want something to
If
say?
I may add on that, actually, nabanggit ni Captain yung strategic engagement. So, apparently, with the reaction of the audience today, nakita ko talaga yung awareness level medyo hindi pala lang kataas, in relation to the importance of blue economy on national interest, as a national interest. Pero you are, sabi nga ni Ma'am kanina, ni Doc kanina, na-inspire kayo, then nagkaroon kayo ng realization. So, maybe, in the same manner, pay it forward lang. Anong ginawa namin dito, yun din ang gagawin ninyo, specifically dun sa local government executives ninyo. So, advocacy is an eye-opener, an activity that will open the eyes of those legislators, especially yung mga local government executives. So, gawin natin siyang parang bibigka approach. Parang favorite namin po yan, yung bibigka approach. Ang sinasabi namin is, lutuin nyo dito sa ilalim, sa baba, sa grassroots, and then dito naman sa taas, meron din gumagalaw. So, that is one thing that can help increasing the buy-ins of the stakeholders on the issue at hand. Then another thing din na nakita kong pwedeng pagsimulan, nakita po ninyo yung statistics kanina. Are those statistics so hard to collect? Locally, kung dito kayo, nandito kayo. I don't think so. So start with those data. Ang laki po ng gap ng data to begin with where our policy should anchor upon. So maybe gathering data could be also yung tinasawag ni Captain na low-lying foods activity. But yun lang yung aking pwedeng i-contribute sa tanong mo, sir.
Yes, thank you so much, ma'am. Anyway, while the participants or other participants are still processing their thoughts with the questions that they are going to ask, Mom, I would like to ask one question. I don't know if this makes sense, but I'll ask anyway. Okay, at the onset of the Ukrainian and Russian war, I read in one article that the European Union asked help from the Philippines to safeguard the Asia-Pacific region, as the Philippines has a very strategic location in the region. So my question now is very simple. Do you think the Philippine Maritime Workforce is really capable in helping the EU in safeguarding the Asia-Pacific region?
Can I invoke Chatham? the Chatham rules here. Kasi actually it's already asking the position, the political position or the policy position of the which we are not allowed to share this. But personal point of view ko, we still can. Kung capability, we have many capabilities in many aspects. Guarding that area would not only entail naman engaging in certain physical war. So marami tayong war, may environmental related war tayo in that area, then we can participate along that line. So, and even protecting the area in that will disrupt the global commons that we call it. So I think we're ready in all aspects, except for some other aspects. Baka yung gusto mo marinig mga hindi mo marinig sa akin. And I invoke my right for that.
Ma'am, I respect that. Ma'am, that definitely makes sense as a question. So, 3 points for me. Number one, if we're looking at capabilities and capacities or different maritime agencies, kung titigan po natin, again, if we go back to legislation, napakarami pong mga nakapending na mga batas for modernization of the Coast Guard, for really modernization of the armed forces, patuloy-tuloy. Ang tagalan natin yung sinusubo. So, it's a work in progress.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's one pie. Diba? If we look at the national budget, it's one pie that we all have to share. So while the intention of those legislation is there, since 1995 po, meron na tayong AFP modernization law. Diba? Nandun ang intention. Kaya ba natin siyang pondohan? Is an altogether different question. So really, it is a work in progress, I would say. But second also, kaya ba natin protektahan? Kasi kaakibat po nun, so that's just the tangible stuff, right? If you look at floating vessels, if you look at ordnance and so on. There's also the non-tangible stuff. Meaning, how do we approach things? Ano yung ating ethos kapag may nangyayari? Simula pa lang ba ang pag-iisip natin, talo na tayo? Kasi kung ganun yung perspective natin, hindi pa tayo nagsisimula, talo na tayo, kahit ang pinakabagong kagamitan ang meron tayo, talo tayo. Right? So if we start with that ethos that this is our waters, we will do what we can to protect it, then yes. I mean, I have seen, I know personally yung po ating mga maritime law enforcers, members sa Navy, Coast Guard, Maritime Group, at nandun siya sa kanila. Yung ganong desire. And kailangan syempre nila ng support from the rest of the country. If the rest of the country starts thinking, why do we even try? Talo naman tayo. Para silang sumugod na walang nasa likod nila. Walang suporta. Diba? So napakahalaga nun na tayo. Huwag naman natin sisimulan, hindi pa nagsisimula, wala pang laban, talo na tayo agad. Diba? At ikatlo, this also speaks to paano tayo bilang bansa nakikitungo din sa broader international community. Because, as
Thank you so much, ma'am. And we have one question from the live streaming. Yeah, probably you have the same answer because I think we have a similar question. Anyway, I'm going to read the question. It says here, how can a small power like the Philippines achieve maritime security over disputes against big powers like China, given that the latter does not completely follow international maritime laws, even if China is a signatory to these international organizations like UN because of its influence in the international community? The question comes from Mr. Leonard Pitoron Jaya.
Okay, so for me, number one is the law is on our side. We have the 2016 arbitral ruling. We have good laws. If we measure maritime zones based on good laws, there's no way that 200 nautical miles will reach the Philippines. So let's use that as a starting point. The law is on our side. But then we also look at how we consistently apply those laws that we claim to be on our side, right? And how does that redound to our domestic laws and policies as well? Second is, it is not a zero sum. It's not zero sum, right? And it's not kaaway lang or kakampi lang. Kung naalala ninyo kanina, di ba, sabi ko nga, kapag pinag-uusapan natin ng isang bagay, kadalasan napaka-security, like hyper-focused on security, overly securitized. Pero napakalawak po ng ating international relations. No? So, security is one, but there's also economic. There's also cultural even. No? So, napakarami pong aspekto niyan. And we have to also harness all of those different aspects in our engagements. No? Maybe the thinking that we are a small power is just if you look at the armaments and the floating assets of our uniform agencies, right? But if you look at how far-reaching is the Filipino influence when we're talking about the seafaring community, diba? Or even the presence of the Philippines in virtually almost every country in the world, right? So there are different forms of power that we can harness. It's not, if you remember as political scientists, yung ating mga estudyante dito, di ba? Ang military, isa lang po yan na state power. Marami pa po ibang sources yung ating power as a country.
And my co-MC will ask one question.
I would just to summarize yung sinabi niya actually. Ang sekreto lang sa ngayon talaga, ang position natin is we keep engaging, we keep finding solutions to the issue at hand. And at the same time, yun nga, we have many aspects at stake na hindi lang naman yung security, territorial integrity. Remember the other reference points ng national security. We're talking about the welfare of the people. We're talking about our relations among nations. And we're talking about our governance internally. So ito ba ay nagbibigay ng stability within? So if we're going to choose certain position in that issue. So sabi nga namin, hindi ito madaling trabaho. It's not a one-shot deal thing. So dapat you have to factor in many elements, especially yung how elements such as we value, ano ba yung binavalue natin as a nation, as a people, and as a individual state among nation. So yun. So yun yung ating guiding point na.
Thank you, ma'am. Ako po kasi, ikapan ko lang po yung kanina na nag-take note po ako ng the roadblocks, yung prioritization of security aspect of maritime security over the socio-economic aspect of maritime security. So yun po yung point ko. Dahil po, parang nabigla po ako sa figures na our ocean-based industries are participating less in the GDP. The fact that we are an archipelagic country, I don't know if the government has part of the economic plan, yung blue economy, and I've heard kanila po kay directors of beaches the issue of microplastics. Do we have any figures how that impacts our blue economy? I mean, in European countries, this is a lot of this is a great issue, the issue of microplastics, because this affects directly yung daily life, food consumption, fish consumption, maritime consumption ng mga Filipinos or daily civilians. So I don't know if I'm just asking if there's any figures or studies conducted by the National Security Council on how microplastics affect the blue economy of the Philippines or even the Asian Foundation. Do you have any idea? Thank you.
So, hahatiin ko yung pwede po. Una po yung about the inclusion of archipelagic planning in the development planning. Emmett mentioned already this. Actually, that was an exerted effort pa ng NSC to ensure that the development plan will be framed, constructed with big consideration into the archipelagic nature of our nation. Kasi nga karamihan nga ng ating mga policies are inland. Case in point, value chain. So we prefer to transport our goods using trucks or inland transport system. Bihira yung through shipping. Actually, dati mas malakas yun. Ako taga Mindanao, kita nyo naman how I was introduced. I've been around. Ipinanganak sa Luzon, lumaki sa Mindanao, nagdalaga sa Visayas, at sa Eastern Visayas. So, ganun po talaga. Ako talaga, when I grew up, madalas ang transport ko talaga papuntang dito sa Luzon is barko. Pero ngayon, hindi ko na alam kung paano ako sumakay ng barko. So paano natin, doon pa lang sa transport system natin, where in fact, way back, panahon ni President Gloria Arroyo, ang kanyang, ano po yung kanyang big projects? RORO, di ba? Yung i-connect, yung lahat ng ports, lahat ng i-connect, di ba? Pero what happened to RORO? Ang ginawa natin sa RORO, anong ginawa natin sa RORO? Isinakay natin yung truck, isinakay natin yung goods sa truck, isinakay natin sa ship, tapos steel, gano'n. Kung walang truck, walang magta-transport sa ship. So, alam mo yung mindset talaga. So, actually, in the National Security Council is part of one committee in the coming up with the Philippine Development Plan, yung trades and goods, and yung investments. Actually, doon pa lang, there was already a change in the planning in terms of prioritization of investments. So, yung sinasabi po ni Ma'am kanina, why wala tayong shipbuilding courses? Actually, isa yan sa mga pinupush din namin. And we even supported BIFAR, sabi nga ni Kat kanina, may mga institusyon, ito ang mandato, pero may ibang ginagawa. What is BIFAR ba? What is BIFAR? Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources. So kung pag sinabi natin gano'n, ang kanilang ginagawa is more on collection of data, no? Analyzing the situation of the fisheries and aquatic resources, management of the resources. And how come one of those years, nag-build sila ng ship? Why? There's an issue at hand, di ba? May issue tayo. Hindi ko alam. Sayang. So, anyway, so, nag-build sila ng ship. Why? Trabaho ba nila yun? It's not. So, that's yung tinatawag natin institutional arrangement na kailangan talaga siyang i-review. There are some institutions talaga na they are forced to do things na hindi naman talaga sakop ng mandato nila because they see it first. Di ba? Kaya nga, parati kong sinasabi talaga, awareness is a big thing. Awareness will give you that buy-ins, and with that buy-ins, you increase the stakeholders, and with that increased stakeholders, there will be more participants in policy formulation, in planning. Yung sinabi ko, niline up ko po kanina, even in data gathering. Basic lang po yung gusto kong ikuan yung sinabi ni Kat kanina, na ilang percentage tayo na Filipinos are eating 60% of meat protein from fish. Okay. So, pwede mo i-challenge yun. Baka pwede mag-research kayo sa palengke nyo. Ano ba talaga ang mas nabibili? Fish ba o meat coming from the four-legged animals? I mean, those are basic things. So, baka naman yung 60% na yun talagang hindi na yun in actuality, reality, di ba? So, those are the things that we can help each other. So, yung pangalawang tanong nyo po, if pwede nyo pong ulitin, kasi meron akong tendency makalimot. Hindi ko po na-note eh.
The issue of microplastics.
Okay, so issue of microplastic. Okay, balik yun. Kaya pala ako, I dwell with the data. Kung nakita niyo po yung presentation ko, ano yung presentation na data na pinalabas ko? Most are galing World Bank. So, hindi po ako makahanap ng galing local. So, I'm not saying they're not doing it. Maybe they are doing it and they are not publishing it. And without the publication, then we are lack of intelligence estimate. That will be the basis of our policy formulation. So I think along that line, pwede din tayong makatulong doon. Diba? Thank you.
Yes, I think you asked for statistics. No, I opened my file just to run through some of the statistics. Una, as of a 2021 study, the Philippines ranks first among the largest contributors of plastic litter. Na, diba? Sad, right? As of 2015 pa lang po, no? Hindi po. It's published in Science Advances na journal. So it's from a scientific journal. So that's 2021, no? As of 2015, if you go back a bit, ang marine plastic litter po ng Pilipinas at pumapasok sa karagatan ay nasa 0.28 to 0.75 million tons per year of plastic. Yung po, although caveat lang, no, yung why are we yung number one polluter pagdating sa plastic? Some attribute it to our sachet economy, yung single-use plastics, and nakilig po tayo gumamit ng mga sachet, di ba? Or kahit po pagpupunta tayo sa palengke, nakatingi tayo bibili ng mantika, asukal, toyo, suka, di ba? Yung mga nakatingi tayo bumibili. Pero kasama din po kasi dyan ay nag-i-import po tayo ng waste from high-income countries. So a study in 2016 found that the Philippines ranked 7th in the world in terms of mismanaging imported plastic waste. Ano pa? According to DENR, 180 of 421 rivers and other bodies in the water nationwide are so heavily polluted that they may be declared biologically dead in the near future. So if that doesn't, scare us, I don't know what will. Because almost, ano yun, ang dami nun, no? 180 of our rivers and other bodies may be declared biologically dead in the near future. Ano nun? Magkano? It is estimated that the water pollution crisis cost the Philippines around $1.3 billion annually. So napakalaki ng cost. Not only does it bar us from maximizing our waters, our blue economy, our ocean economy, it also costs us so much. And so that is really like a big issue that we have to deal with. And the second point of your question is on the social economic aspects. No? Isa rin po ito sa tinitingnan namin. Halimbawa, punta po tayo sa usapin ng IUU fishing. Diba yung mga illegal, unregulated, unreported na fishing. Tinitingnan natin siya ng huhulihin ni BIFAR, o huhulihin na bantay dagat, huhulihin na kung sino, diba? Pero yung napakahalagang tanong ng ano ba yung social economic aspect na yun? Bakit in the first place, yung mga mangingisda natin nagpapalaon at nag-engage sa IUU fishing? Right? So we have to also look at not just what do we do if the law is broken, but also how do we prevent it? And usually, socio-economic po yung aspects for that prevention. Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. Okay, are there any more questions or clarifications? Yes, sir.
Good morning po once again. I am Larry Ligado from Marine Industry. Just a request po, to send this problem regarding the overlapping of municipal water boundaries with Quezon. Ang problema po kasi ng aming mga mangingisda, nahuhuli sila. Oo po, kasi alam nila, tagal na rin ng aming municipal water. So under the Republic Act 50, Tornil Coastline, it has 10 kilometers or 15 kilometers. Sana po ma-consider yung problema ito to release para ma-address po yung problema ito. Thank you po.
You want to address the question? The NSC notes daw po the question, but isa rin po tinignan namin dito sa study namin ay nag-case study po kami dito sa Zambales at sa Iloilo para makita kung paano nga ba yung mga ganitong mga issue hinahandle at sa local level. No? Minsan din po, kailangan din natin ng inter-agency, inter-LGU na pag-uusap. No? Halimbawa po, meron po kaming ibang LGU na nakita na dahil nga, pag nasa laot ka na nga naman, ang hirap mong malaman, di ba, nasan na ba ako? Di ba? Wala namang arko. Pag papasok tayo sa daan, meron, welcome to Cabanatuan City, ganyan, di ba? Walang arko sa tubig. So, paano malalaman ng mangingisda natin yun, no? May mga LGU po na ang ginagawa nila, nag-uusap-usap po sila at naglalabas ng joint na fisheries laws. Na mag-a-agree sila na kung ano yung pag-aagrihan natin, it applies to all of our fisher folks. Saan man sila galing, no? At hindi natin sila sasabihan na, oy, nag-cross ka na, nandito ka na sa probinsya namin, o nandito ka na sa probinsya namin. So that's one thing that could be addressed, I would say, even at the local level, at the inter-LGU level. And in fact, that is highly encouraged po, diba? Given talagang devolution po yung ating pinupush din.
Sir, magdagdag ako. Siguro kahapon ko andito kayo na-discuss natin yung NTF-ELCA. So, di ba po ang NTF-ELCA was designed na magsama-sama yung mga ahensya or concerned people or unit personnel na engage in development at saka dito sa peace and order. Diba yung RDC at saka RPOC. So, karamihan po ng instance na nag-meet sila, they talk about issues na local. Kayo po ba, isang tanong ko po sa inyo, sa Marinduque po ba, kayo po ba ay na-invite in these sessions? Kasi if not, I took note charge to agenda such. But it would be more better, sir, kahit mag-email lang po kayo, para meron hindi po to galing sa akin na issue, kundi galing talaga sa constituents or sa the concerned group of people. Baka may resolution kayo na pwede ninyo i-atang o i-submit, and from there, ipak namin yan, then ibababa po doon sa region kung saan kayo masasako for agenda. Hello.
So may katanungan po tungkol dun sa Maritime Zones Law. No, una, masusolusyonan daw ba nito yung ating dispute with China? At ikalawa, kung yung arbitral ruling nga hindi ma-enforce, paano pa kaya if we have our own, like our maritime zones, no? Unang-una, ang maritime zones law does not make any territorial claims. No? Ulitin ko po, yung dispute with China, it's a territorial dispute, and the maritime zones law does not make territorial claims. No? It is merely a declaration, a local declaration of what our zones are based on laws. And is it going to affect? Well, as I said earlier, all the other states, claimant states in the dispute, all have their respective local laws on their maritime zones. Tayo lang ang wala. So maybe that's not like a top of our head concern that we should be asking ourselves. Maybe the big question is, bakit tayo lang ang wala? No? At ikalawa, will it solve? Honestly, there's no magic pill. Right? Hopefully, if we find it. But, why do we need it? Because the maritime zones is a foundational law. So, kapag naayos po natin yung maritime zones law, it will pave the way for the succeeding reforms that we need to do for maritime governance. Right? Kasi it would define, di ba? Ano yung rights and entitlements natin? Nasaan ang ating maritime zones? Kapag naklaro na yun, manganganak yan. Manganganak at manganganak yan ng iba pang mga adjustments, amendments that we need to do pagdating po sa ating policies, no, yung pinakita ko kanina na mga kailangan natin i-update ng mga batas, at pagdating din sa ating mga institutional arrangements, no, or basically the question around who does what. So no, it will not solve the big issue, of course, but it sets the right starting point for the Philippines to one by one address those many different issues that are really affecting our maritime governance. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Director Maria Luis Malaysia Santivichus and Ms. Carlos Duoca. Moving on, we will be proceeding to the closing remarks. May I call on the Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences, Dr. Marietta B. Agustin. A round of applause, please.
To the organizers of this regional conference, the Philippine Political Science Association, headed by its president, Dr. Denise Coronacion, the Conrad Adenauer Institute, the Political Science Society, yung mga estudyante, nandito po, ang estudyante natin ng PSS, led by their advisor, Professor Ferman Lazati, at the back. Our lecturers for this morning, ma'am, thank you for gracing us. Our dear participants, good morning. I am tasked to close this regional conference, where topics discussed are very timely and relevant as we face a volatile, lagi natin ito narinig, volatile, complex, and uncertain environment. The current international issues and domestic affairs, like our maritime dispute against the proliferation of cybercrimes, targeting the most secured government databases, and many other issues threaten our national security and hinder economic growth and development. Conferences like this provide an avenue where the academe, including our faculty members, our students, government employees from the private sectors can discuss these issues and promote awareness and encourage advocacies. No? Kagaya po ng sinasabi ng ating mga lecturers, pwede tayong magsimula sa ating mga advocacies, sa ating mga citizens initiatives, sa tayo sa political science, naiintindihan natin na ang laki ng pwede magawa ng mga mamamayan. It is my hope that this two-day conference has planted among us, our participants, our faculty members, our students, the desire to know more, understand current issues, and eventually make intelligent decisions when called for. Wesleyan University Philippines, specifically through the Political Science program of the College of Arts and Sciences, is one with the PPSA in its advocacies. We are privileged to host this event, and we welcome every opportunity for us to collaborate with you in any endeavor that will raise awareness among our stakeholders. Sometimes, I lament that in this age of information technology, there are still significant segment of our population who remained in the cave of ignorance, especially in terms of political issues, which we all know have impact. And issues in the field of political science is worthy of support from different sectors. We at the College of Arts and Sciences promote civic consciousness. That is one of our goals. That's one of the goals of the programs of the College of Arts and Sciences. We believe that awareness of political issues shall not be confined in the walls of the classroom of students of political science, neither in roundtable discussion among political scientists or faculty members of political science. We need to raise awareness among every Filipino citizen by bringing these issues in the level of the community in a manner that can be understood by the common tao. After all, in democratic countries like us, an informed citizenry is our most critical resource. For in our hands lie the sovereign power to choose and decide. We can empower the people to make informed choice and decisions. Again, we are open for collaboration. We are ready to work with you, even the universities who are participating in this event. We can collaborate. I hope there would be next time where we can sit together and discuss how we can make significant impact in our society. Again, magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Sana yung 2 araw na yun ay naging productive para sa ating lahat. Salamat po.
Thank you very much, Regina. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the end of our event and on national security. This is organized by the Philippine Political Association in partnership with Conrad Adenauer Stiftung, the National Security Council, and Western University Philippines, to our President, Judge Benjamin Vergara. We hope that you have found the discussion insightful and informative. Our conversations have highlighted the critical challenges and opportunities in securing our country against various threats, and we have learned the importance of collaboration, transparency, and innovative approaches in enhancing our national security. We want to express our appreciation to our speakers, participants who have contributed to the success of this event, and we also thank our sponsors, organizers, and volunteers who have made this event possible. We hope that the insights and perspectives shared in this event will inspire us to work together towards a safer and more prosperous Philippines. Thank you once again, and have a great day ahead.
Yes, and I would like to request the participants to please scan the QR code and give your evaluation for today's conference. And if some of you haven't yet given your evaluation for yesterday's meeting, please also give your evaluation by scanning this QR code. Okay? Thank you. And thank you, ma'am, for the wonderful comprehensive report. We so appreciate. Ay, ma'am, photo muna tayo. Photo muna.
So we invite our guest speaker and the delegates to please be here on stage for the photo opportunity. Yes, a group photo. Para isang maramihan po tayo dito. Okay, dito na lang po sa baba. The delegates. And also the students, you can go here sa stage. Come on. Come on. Political science students, dito po tayo sa stage, and the delegates, dito po tayo kapag-ulan. And the other PPSA members,
we're good na po. Okay, ready? Kanino po kami titingin? Sino po may... Last one na daw po ito. Meron po ba? Last one? Okay, thank you very much.
Sumama agad doon once lang yun. Sabihin natin meron na tayo.
Nandito.
Main mo na ba?